I'm Nichola from LaBLiFe, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own sound level meter in the free app SPARKvue, and we're also going to do a little bit of sense and control programming and make it do like a coded output to tell you whether your sound sample's being too noisy or whether it's being nice and quiet. Okay, so this is an activity that everyone can try at home. If you've got a device that's either an iPad or an Android tablet or a Chromebook, you can just head straight to your app store, type in SPARKvue, which is spelled SPARKvue. You will be able to download it completely for free. If you're using a PC or a laptop, you can get it for a free 60-day trial from the PASCO website. If you head to pasco.com, and then you'll be able to download it from the downloads page. Okay, so when you open up the software, it is going to look like this. So no matter what platform you're on, whether you're on a tablet or whether you're on your PC, it's always going to look the same. So what we want to do first off is click on sensor data, and this is going to look for the onboard sensors in your device if you haven't got any other PASCO sensors connected to it. So you can see it can see the microphone, so we want to toggle this on. Press the toggle button. We want to measure sound level, so this is measured in decibels. Sound intensity is in SI units, so it's not as intrinsically obvious that it is a sound measurement. So we're going to go for sound level, and we want to click on graph. So this is going to pull up a graph of sound level on the y-axis measured in decibels against time on the x. So I'm just going to want to start recording, and then we can measure the sound level in the room, ambient sound. So when I'm quiet, it looks like it's about 28, and then when I'm making noise, it goes up to about 42. Let's see if I can make a lot of noise. Oh yeah, I should explain. I brought one of my son's toys with me so I could make some noise with me. I don't just carry this around with me everywhere. Right, so it looked like the maximum kind of noise we were getting there was about 48. Right, this gives me a good idea of where to place that threshold. So if we now come to the coding tab down here in the bottom toolbar, click this code. So what we want to do is, if we come to the top logic bank, I'm going to want this if do function. I'm going to click and drag this into the workspace. So I don't know if you've seen this programming language before. It's called Google Blockly, and it's essentially like little jigsaw pieces. You don't have to remember any syntax or anything like that. It's a really nice introduction to programming. If you try and put one piece next to another and it doesn't go, then it won't let you do it. So in other words, you can't really get bugs in the program. It just won't let you fit them together. So if I need a comparator block from the logic section, I'm going to click and drag this block, plonk it here. If my value of, come to hardware to find the sound level, click and drag this block into here. If my value of sound level measured in decibels goes above, come back to the graph by clicking here, goes above, let's say, this is when I was talking, goes above, go for 46, eh? Come back to the code. I need some digits to put in here, so I'm going to come to the math tab, click and drag the digits from up here. What did I say? 40. So 46. If it goes above 46, I want you to. And then if we come to code output down here, I want to create a text output field. This is going to be the warning that it displays to the user, so I'm going to call it warning, click OK. In the text output called warning, I want it to say that you're being too loud, sad face. Otherwise, or else, if that condition isn't met, if we're being quieter than that, I need an else function. So I'm going to click on the cogwheel in the if do function. I'm going to click and drag that else and plonk it under the if, and that brings me up another rung to this block. So else, come back to code output, in text output warning, I then want it to say nice and quiet, smiley face. Oh, I spelled quiet wrong. IET. There we go. Now we need to put this in a loop because at the minute it's just going to test it once. We want it to test over and over and over again. So I'm going to click on loop and I want this repeat while block. I'm going to plonk that around the whole thing, then come back up to logic and repeat while true. Put that there. Now from a coding perspective, we are sorted. So we need to go back to the experiment page. We want a new display, so I'm going to click on this new page up here. I want 2 displays on the page. I'm going to go for this landscape option here. In the top one, I'm going to click on this 1.23 for a digits display. I want it to give me the actual value of the sound level. And then in the one underneath, I am going to click the 1.23 again for another digits display. But in this one, I want it to give me my warning. Oh, I'll have to bloop. So here I have to click on user entered and then click on warning. Drag it back to the center. Right, and then all I have to do is just press start and see what happens. So this is running our code for us in the background, so at the minute we're being nice and quiet, and then if I make a lot of noise, it should set the alarm off. So I might need the threshold to be a little bit lower. So we're going to come back to the coding page. I'm going to set this to, should we go for 42? Have a look how that goes. Come back to the experiment page and press start again. So still being nice and quiet. Maybe I should have done with a constant noise rather than a intermittent one. I should explain what this is actually. This is my son's instrument that I've brought with me. He's only 18 months old. So yeah, it's just a way of me making a lot of noise. So yes, this has been an instructional video on how to make your own sound level meter in SPARKvue. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you can make use of it either in your classroom as a way of manipulating your students to stay quiet for you. And it's also just a nice way of showing your students how they can do a little bit of coding, a little bit of programming in a nice, accessible way. It doesn't have to be super scary from the get-go. So yeah, I hope it's been useful and see you next time.